As an agency owner, you already need to mentally be in 2026. And this is because I believe it's going to be the best possible time for an AI agency owner to achieve 6 to 7 figures. But I also believe that 99% of AI agency owners will not succeed because they don't understand this simple thing. And before I tell you exactly what it is, you're probably scratching your head. Why on earth should I even listen to this guy? Firstly, I run an AI software. It helps agency owners fulfill for their clients. We've been launched for 2 months now. If you do the simple calculation, we're already worth close to $1 million. Next, I also run an AI agency. It's called Fusion Media. So I hope that has showed you I actually know what I'm talking about. And you need to understand this simple thing is that majority of business owners, they simply don't know what AI is. It is still such a new thing. Sure, if you say AI to most business owners, they're going to be like, oh, ChatGPT, right? But they don't really understand how it can help them or elevate their business. And this is the mistake so many people are making. They're pitching these business owners AI solutions, but they're just getting too in the weeds. And these business owners are like, what on earth are you on about? And to further back up my findings, look what I asked ChatGPT. Percentage of business owners in America who don't understand AI and have just heard of it. 50 to 70%. That is a very, very large number. So you're going in, pitching these business owners these creative solutions, really making things complex. And they're probably scratching their head being like, I've only just found out what ChatGPT can do. How on earth is this going to help my business? So what this really tells us, right, is the following. Firstly, we have a tech illiteracy along business owners within America, not just America. With the data, we typically lead with America, but this also means for any other Western country. Next, information overload. People just are so scared of AI, they're like, whoa, I don't want to learn it. Next, no clear use case connection. They don't understand how AI can actually help their business. And finally, fear of change. It was the same with the internet. Let's look back. Who was the Netflix before the Netflix? This was Blockbuster, but they were scared of a fear of change and it got replaced by Netflix. And we're going to see this happen so much with so many business owners. And this is going to be your issue. If you do not have these 4 key reasons in mind when you are pitching business owners, it's going to be very, very hard for you to close deals. What you need to understand is exactly who your prospect is, what they want, and what is the gap that's stopping them from achieving what they want. And all you're doing is making a simple drawbridge for them to get across. And you know what? It just so happens that AI is going to be the solution which enables them. But when you are pitching these business owners, you don't need to get in the weeds and be like, hey, we'll do this AI automation, use these API codes. It's simply going to go over 70% of business owners' heads, and it's never going to help. Look at this. You don't communicate the ins and outs. All you focus on is what the prospect wants. You are simply selling the outcome. And this is the issue, guys. Right now, everyone is trying to sell AI to these business owners who simply don't understand what you're on about. But secondly, most AI agency owners, they don't understand what their AI solution is or who they're trying to target. They haven't yet been able to identify a clear use case of who they want to help and how they're going to help them. And this simply just leads to 99% of agency owners purely just playing on hard mode because they haven't done the basic groundwork where they understand who they want to target and what their solution is. So now that I've run you through my quick ideology of why I believe 99% of agency owners, if they don't understand this concept, are going to fail, I want to help you guys out. I want to help you become crystal clear on who you want to sell to and what their pain points are. So for me, for my AI agency, Fusion Media, it's basically an AI content agency. This means we help business owners when it comes to content, but I'm very, very particular about who I target. So I only like to target people between 30 to 60 who are already creating content because, of course, it's easier to sell to someone who's doing something but not doing it very well, but they're not seeing any results. I mean, if you look at the people I target, they're posting shit like this. They're like flexing cars, houses. It's super nice, but come on, is that really going to get them any business? I don't think so. And this is where we come in. We're the person who's making that drawbridge from the prospect to where they want to be. And of course, in this situation, they want to create content that attracts, nurtures, and signs dream clients. So there's 2 ways you can go about becoming clear yourself on who you want to target. And this is either by you identifying and understanding the niche, or you can go about demographic, psychographic, and stage in business. Personally, for me, I like to target demographic, psychographic stage in business. I've never personally liked being married to a singular niche. If you saw the example I gave up here, it's super broad. I don't say a certain type of business owner, right? I just say a business owner, and I'm also sticking to psychographic, demographic stage in business. But of course, if you want, you can go for a specific niche. This could be local businesses, electricians, plumbers, whoever you want it to be. But for this one, here's what it means. So demographic, entrepreneurs aged 30 to 60 who want to grow their personal brand and attract more clients. Stage in business, already making 50K per month consistently from coaching, consulting, or services. They've proven their business works. Psychographics, successful in business but failing with content. They've tried posting but nothing clicks. Their business results don't match their online presence and they feel invisible compared to competitors. So what you can see here is I've really niched down and identified, like, we're not targeting a particular business type, but we're targeting a particular type of person. So it's really important when you go about deciding who you want to target that you pick either this one or this one. Personally, for me, this has made me a lot more money. It's funny, right? Back in the past, like 2.5 years ago, when I was really just trying to get this AI agency thing to work, I actually did do Pacific Niche first. We first started off with online fitness coaches, PT trainers, that kind of world. And it just didn't work at all. I mean, I signed one client. Her name was T Fitness. She paid me £50. £50. And from now, I was like, yeah, I'm never doing fitness again. I'm focusing on this. So I just wanted to let you know about a little recap story. It brings me a lot of joy. My first ever client is something you will never forget. And you'll always feel grateful, even if they pay you shit. So it's really important you understand this. Awesome. Now that you've done this, you need to identify that pain and provide a solution. So here's a few solutions that you can provide. So sales agents, AI content, which is of course what I do, AI chatbots. There is a singular reason why I like doing AI content more than anything. And this is because how sticky it is. If you guys haven't seen my previous video, I literally made a video breaking down how in 2 months' time, this client would have been paying me for 2 years on a recurrent basis. What you need to understand is when someone starts content, right, and it actually works for them, why on earth would they cancel something which is already making them money? It is so sticky. And because I use AI to fulfill everything, my profit margins for this client are insane. And I kid you not, I probably spend about 5 minutes a month on him. Literally no time at all, because of how sticky it is and how I've automated everything when it comes to AI. So that's why I like content myself. But of course, there's different options that you guys could do. So look, like I say here, you manage your client's content. All they need to do is press record. That's basically the deliverables we have for my client. All they need to do is press record. Then they start getting leads. But the thing is, and this is where it gets really sticky and you can actually make a lot more money. The 2 years client, full transparency, I haven't upsold them, but I've upsold other clients, is you can start selling them solutions to their next problem. So what's content going to enable a client to do? Well, firstly, attract and nurture someone. They're probably going to book a call with them, but their close rate still may be extremely low. So in that instance, you could be to Mr. Client and be like, hey, we're getting you tons of bookings, but your close rate is super low. Why don't I install a sales agent which calls up everyone and it's like, hey, thanks for booking a call, starts asking them questions, starts qualifying them to ensure they're actually going to pay you. So as you can see, it has amazing upsell potential. And then you could just deliver using like Go High Level or something like this. It is super simple. So I hope you can see why I like doing content myself personally. Awesome. So now you understand who you want to target, what you want to solve their pains with. Here's how to position it. And guys, this is like the most important part. And it really just links back to what I was saying earlier on. You could in fact know a solution yourself, who you want to target. But if you're too deep into the weeds and you're just communicating something which is not outcome focused to the 70% of people, you're never going to be able to close them. They're going to be like, how on earth is this going to help me? This sounds too complicated and too much work for myself. So it's really important that you guys understand this. And there's really going to be a few solutions and outcome focused things you can sell to these business owners. More qualified leads, more inbound sales calls, increased authority in that industry, higher conversion rates, time back when creating. Obviously this one right here is more an AI content agency offer, but everything else is pretty broad. And when you guys are just looking at these, ask yourself, what do they signify? They're not really talking about AI, right? Yeah, of course we're using AI to fulfill, but these are more outcome focused. You're going to make me more money. You're going to save me more time. From a business owner perspective, I mean, come on, you're literally a business owner watching this. If someone came over to you and pitched you, I will make you more money, I will save you more time, realistically, you're probably going to be interested, right? So this is why you need to lead with it. And what I've actually done to help you craft a perfect offer that includes this outcome focused language, whether it's time, money, or anything else, I've made a quick formula for you. So we help who achieve specific outcome without main frustration using our unique mechanism. So who, for me, as you know, I like to do demographic, psychographic, stage, and business. So I would just say business owners, or if you wanted to maybe niche it down a bit more, you could say business coaches. Achieve, so in my situation, I can be like scale with content, achieve dream clients from content, autopilot content bookings without main frustration. So this could be spending hours a day creating content, scratching their head wondering what ideas they're going to do, using unique mechanism. In this situation, right, if you wanted to, you could say AI, but you don't want to like expand on it and say all the back end stuff. You could just say AI content, keeping it simple. Or you could just remove AI entirely and just say using our content funnel. It is entirely your choice. And it's going to be important, right, when you guys are testing these offers and really how you display them to the business owners that you're testing out. I would even recommend, right, KPI testing. I would do a 50-50 split to see what's actually going to communicate best with your client. Use the first 50 side, say an AI, the other 50 side without it. And I would keep track of this, right? Because you're going to find in some instances it's good, some instances it's not. Like, I'm gonna be honest, when I'm targeting an older person when it comes to content, I wouldn't even bother to say AI because I just know it's gonna be a headache. But if I'm targeting like a 30-year-old who's a bit more tech savvy, really up to date on things, you know, recently we even signed someone who owns a tech company. Of course, I'm gonna say AI. They're gonna be like, wow, this is really, really interesting. So it's just having that adaptive nature and being like, okay, I'm targeting someone older, 60, 70. Of course, I'm not going to mention AI. Why would I just get into the weeds and just delay the sales cycle? But if you're targeting someone younger, who's obviously in tune, better understands it, then of course you're going to say AI. So that's where it comes for you guys to really just be able to adapt and better understand what works and what doesn't, depending on who you're targeting and the prospect each individual time. So here's a few examples. We help service businesses close more clients and free up their time using our AI client conversion system. So in this situation, as you see, I do say AI. And now I want to show you a bad example, how I see so many people pitching this. You know what? I even had someone, I get a lot of cold DMs recently since posting more on YouTube, of people trying to pitch me all of these things. And I literally had someone for an AI automation offer just nerd out on me. Obviously, I know how these things work. So I was like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. But for like an average person, the 70% who we said about earlier, who you're likely going to be targeting, right? Because they have more money. This is just going to go over their head and they're going to be like, what the fuck? So we'll close more clients by setting up a chatbot, integrate Calendly, write 8 follow-up templates, 3 Zapier automations. It's like, what? This sounds like so much work. So you're telling me I need to write 8 follow-up scripts. I need to do all of this. I need to set up Zapier. It's like, yeah, this just caused me way too much stress. I do not want to touch it at all. And when you compare it against this, it's like, well, okay, it's not going to take me much time and it's going to make me money. How much? Just book a sales call. Let me further learn about it. And also, guys, once again, as a reminder, sometimes you don't even need to use AI within your offer. For my AI content agency, I wouldn't even mention it if it overcomplicates things. That's mainly for the older people. I'm going to be totally honest. I would literally just say content system. For younger people, AI content system. I'm literally just adding an extra word. It's not much work. And then on the back end, you just use AI to fulfill. So for me, because I do an AI content agency offer, my software Fusion AI is actually using that. So it's an AI content fulfiller system. So it fulfills like scripts, edits, competitor analysis. That is what I use to fulfill. Awesome. So let's do a quick recap what we've done so far. Firstly, I've helped to just show you why you need to stop nerding out and just pitching these business owners some really complicated AI solution. Of course, you are using AI for the solution, but they only care about the outcome. From here, we further defined who you should target, helped you focus on whether or not you want to target a niche or demographic, psychographic, stage in business. From here, we've then crafted a perfect offer using the formula I've given you. So right now you may be asking, how on earth can you find clients? Thankfully, I'm here to answer. So all you're trying to do, right, is just a simple journey to cash money. And it's all going to start off with finding prospects. So to find prospects for myself, I simply just use Instagram or I use YouTube, right? And then I just type in keywords. So this could be business coach, HVAC, real estate. And as you can see, for this instance, I just typed in realtor and look who came up. Tons of realtors, as you can see. But I want you guys to actually go into bigger accounts like this one. And this is because you can actually go in and scrape their followers and their following. I need you to understand this. And it's funny, right? One of my students recently came to me, this being like, how am I going to find people? People are so hard. Look at this account, realtor.com. It has 650K followers. Who on earth is actually going to follow this account if they're not a realtor? Let's be honest for a second. Okay, we could say maybe 5% of people following because they appreciate the properties that they're posting. But majority of the people are going to be realtors. And if you decide for your niche you wanted to focus on realtors, that's a whole lot of potential prospects for you to sell to. And it is so simple. All we are doing is simply typing up a keyword on Instagram. And once again, it is the same for YouTube, right? You're going to find, especially in real estate, most of real estate coaches are basically people who teach, people who sell real estate, how to grow their business. You're going to see a lot of those people make YouTube videos. So if you want to target them, once again, super easy to find. Guys, understand there is so many people out there and it's really not hard to find them. You're simply just typing in a few simple keywords and they will come up. And then all you're doing is looking through their followers. You can also look at their comment section and their likers and just scraping through each one by one and finding the perfect fit. Also, guys, I want to announce this because I'm actually very excited for it and I'm going to be giving it for free for every single person. We're currently working on an AI-powered prospector. So that's going to be able to scrape Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, just anywhere you can possibly imagine to actually find you leads that you want. And the cool thing is ChatGPT can't even do this. So I'm going to be the person who owns it and I'm giving it to you guys for completely free. It is almost done. My developers and my Fusion AI team are currently working on it. So when it comes to you scraping all of these people, right? For me, a personal rule that I like to go by, I will never ever reach out to someone or target someone over 50K followers because it's more than likely they're probably not going to see your message or be interested. Secondly, just so much more competition for yourself, right? The more followers they have, the more people who see them, meaning the more people pitch them. It's just, once again, playing your AI agency on hard mode. So when it comes to actually reaching out to them, you're just going to do Instagram. YouTube is purely just to find people. And if you actually go to the YouTube description or even look in their description, most of the time, I would like to say around 80% to be honest, they are going to have their Instagram linked. So then you can just go about and message them. Per account on Instagram, you should be sending no more than 40 DMs per account. Otherwise, you will get banned. But the really cool thing about this is you can make multiple accounts. So for Fusion Media, my agency, where we actually reach out to people to pitch them, as you can see, I have multiple accounts. This is just a screenshot of one other account. This one here is my main account. At this point, I'd probably say we have like 10 to 12 different accounts just with this exact layout, meaning we can really mass send cold DMs because cold DMs is purely just a numbers game, right? The higher quality people you find and the more messages you send, what do you think it results in? Well, obviously, more responses, meaning more book calls. I was actually going to draw a telephone, but it kind of failed horribly, so I just write calls. But yeah, super simple. Now, when it comes to actually sending this DM, it is really important that you go about offering a free personalized strategy. The mistake I see so many people make when it comes to them pitching people for cold DMs is on the first initial message, they're trying to get something from someone. They're being like, hey, can we book a call? I can help you with this. It's never going to work. Instead, you need to give something to that person for free. So what I like to do is this kind of strategy. So hey name, I came across your profile from, and I really liked. The reason I say I came across your profile from, it helps build familiarity. This person may be like, oh, you also know this guy. Do I perhaps know you? Making them a bit more warm to you. And after that, you simply add a compliment. What's this going to do? Well, it's going to build up their ego and be like, well, this guy really likes me. Now, here's where we come in with the CTA. Can I send you a personalized video that breaks down a simple content strategy that can help you attract and sign dream clients without needing to go viral? So of course, what I've given here is an AI content agency example, but as you can see, we're literally not pitching them on anything. We're simply offering them something for free, which is actually going to help them. And what is this? A personalized video that breaks down a simple content strategy. Guys, look how good and effective this message is. we first warm them up by saying, hey, we found you from this, making people feel, well, do I know you? We then gave them a compliment, boosting their ego. And then finally, we pitched them something for totally free. And we showed we're actually going to put effort into this by making a personalized video. And when they respond, and we do want to aim for a 5% response rate, which really isn't hard at this time of recording. Most months were around a 6 to 7% positive response rate, which is extremely high. So when they do respond, they're simply just going to say like, yes, you're going to send them a Loom breaking down exactly how you can help them. And if you guys want further help on how you can actually do these Looms correctly, how to structure them, you can go ahead and check out one of my other videos. I'll probably get like a tag or a pop-up to come up here, so you can simply click onto it after you finish this video. Now that you send them a personalized video, they're going to book a call. You're going to actually have a very high booking rate. For me right now, every 4 Looms I send, I book a call. Yes, you heard that right. For every 4 Looms I send, I book a call. And there is virtually zero cost of acquisition when it comes to it. So that is why it is so effective. And now in between the calls, so you guys can continue further nurturing them and really ensure this business owner sees you as the #1 person to help solve that pain. You want to keep DMing them and being like, hey, can I help you with anything? What's your biggest bottlenecks at the moment? And this is where it's actually time for you guys to start recording some more content, right? If they say, hey, I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with this, go ahead and make YouTube videos, Instagram videos that solve these problems. From here, you can simply send them these videos. What are these videos going to do? They're going to make them know, like, and trust you even more. The more time someone spends with you, and this is obviously going to be watching your videos, they're going to know, like, and trust you even more. I know I just said that twice, but I really want to get that point forwards. It is really important, and YouTube is simply a cheat code. I want you to think about, you may have bought something from someone before, coaching, mentorship, whatever it is. I can guarantee you, before you bought from that person, you consumed a lot of that content, right? And it's going to be the exact same for these business owners buying your AI agency solution. The more content they consume from you, the more warm they're going to be, and the more likely they're going to see you as the #1 person to help solve their pain point, which is of course going to lead to them paying you. And that is why it is so effective. So I hope you guys can see from this entire breakdown that I've given you, of course, you're going to be using AI when it comes to actually delivering the solution, but you don't need to nerd out and constantly speak about it and break it down, because 70% of business owners is going to go over their head. Next, when it actually comes to pitching your offer, you need to firstly be crystal clear on exactly if you want to do niche, demographic, psychographic, or stage in business, and exactly what these people's #1 pain is, and the solution that you're going to provide for them. So as you can see, I've given you some examples here. I still think AI content agency is going to be the best, just because every business owner needs content and the upsell potential. From here, I've then shown you how to actually craft an offer super attractive, so it doesn't go over those 70% of people's head and they just become overwhelmed and be like, well, AI, I don't even want to go near that. You know, that's never going to happen if you use this offer formula. And then finally, how to actually find these clients and make a no-brainer offer, which they firstly respond to. They then watch your Loom video, and then every 1 in 4 people who watch your video are going to book a call and close. It is really simple when you actually break it down in these 4 singular steps. So I want you guys to go ahead just right now and please execute on this. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.